didn't allow too many sacks. I did see him roll out a lot, but I don't think they allowed too many sacks. Um, they they had a good game. It just was down to the wire. Kansas State had the ball to end the game, and it was just they did it. Um, but yeah, and 4 sacks, an interception. Like Colorado, they had that one play where they pressured Kansas State quarterback. Oh my goodness, I don't even remember his name. That is dumb of me. But he throws the ball like immediately. He snaps the ball and throws it, and it was just a very inerrant pass. And I was like, Colorado's defense can be like that all game, but they chose to do it for 4 to 5 plays of the game. That play costed Kansas State interception. Colorado got all the way down to like the 20. He got tripped, sadly. And then they just scored like that. So I mean, if they can make teams make those mistakes like that, sack them on 3rd and 2, get behind the offensive line on these 3rd and short, 3rd and medium, or swat the ball down or whatever, then they've got a chance at winning a lot of games in the Big 12. But just this game was not there. Kansas State, for their team, had 243 passing and 185 rushing. So they basically had the most balanced offense I've seen in a while. They didn't have like these explosive plays. They had these little dink and dunks. They had a good running game. They could blast the hole, get 10 yards. But you didn't see, oh, he threw for a 60-yard touchdown. There was that one touchdown at the end where he threw a 50-yard touchdown, but that wasn't the majority of the game. The majority of the game was, we're going to slowly go down the field, give them less time to score, and in the end, it worked. They didn't allow all the points that was supposed to be allowed. So, great job by them for doing that. There's just a lot of little things that they need to tweak. Defensive backs, we shouldn't be allowing 238 receiving yards to the 2 and the 3 receiver. I mean, when Travis Hunter was out, he only had 4 catches for like 32 yards. And then these guys have 13 catches for whatever number of yards, 238. But it's just the defensive backs need to figure out, the secondary basically needs to figure out how to stop the second and third guy. If they're going to keep getting that many receptions and yards every game, then Kansas State's offense is going to have to keep up with that. And one of these games, it's not going to happen. So there's that. And then DJ Giddens, pretty good game, 25 attempts rushing, 182 yards. He was getting through the holes. Like I said, he was getting like 8-10 yards per rush. Like he wasn't being stopped or anything. They were just running the ball with him. So he was very good. What else? I mean, defensive line, they did their job. Negative 27 yards, 6 sacks. Constantly. I kept seeing Shedeur go down in the backfield. So they kept hitting him. They kept getting to him. But he's just one of those quarterbacks that can do that. That can continue throwing completions even though he's getting hit multiple times. Even though he was scrambling out and stuff. It wasn't like he was struggling to like just stay in the pocket and just had to throw it at the last second. It was more like he scrambled out, he got the ball out, and then like maybe a step later he got pushed, he got shoved or something. Like they tried to make it apparent that they were getting to him, but it was just a hair late. So, and Shedeur can just do that. He knows how to do that. So, very good by them. I don't think there's much else that Kansas State can work on. I I think they did great. The defense allowed a lot to happen. They fixed it up in the last few seconds, won the game. It was a good game. It was a good game. I have to tell you, the Colorado Kansas State game, I think I had to rewatch it like 5 times, and then the Oregon Ohio State game, this game, second game of the year. It probably was number one right now. Oregon Ohio State. I had to have watched this thing like 7 times because it was so good. But this one lived up to the hype. I will tell you, Oregon Ohio State. I mean, the way Ohio State came into this game, just jump started Oregon and just kept pushing down the field was insane. And then the fumble by Quinshon Judkins, that kind of tilted the game because it looked like Ohio State was going to get down the field again and be like, oh, we're dominant. We're going to just pound these guys and we're going to kill them. And then Oregon gets the turnover. They score. I believe they score. And then the botched PAT and whatever. That was crazy. Ohio State goes up. Oregon tries to come back. They get back in the game. And then just before halftime, I remember when Oregon threw the deep shot down the field. And that kind of exploded the game open. Because now Oregon's up 1. It was an offensive match. It really was. There wasn't much defense. There's that one play where I can't remember his name, but he was on a go route. He caught it, and then Burke, that corner, saved that man's soul. He was getting picked on all night. He tries to tackle him, but the wide receiver just will not go down, and he got like an extra 15 yards off the catch. It was incredible to watch that. But, yeah. And then Oregon kicks the field goal, Ohio State. I counted. If he had like, I think 2 seconds left, 2 seconds, which they changed this rule. I was just watching something about it. They changed the rule after the game because what happened was there was 10 seconds left. Oregon put 12 guys on the field on an obvious passing down, got the penalty, but because it was a 12-man penalty and in college the clock still goes down to where it was before the penalty. So if the penalty wasn't if the penalty was enforced, like if they had the rule, then Ohio State, I think he would have had like 2 seconds left. Call the timeout. Ohio State could have won the field goal or won the game on a field goal. But he had the right intention of getting the ball down the field. He just should have slid quicker or something, called the timeout, and then they would have been fine. But he didn't really. He wasn't looking at the clock, and I get that. You're just trying to get yards. You're trying to just get the ball down the field so your kicker can kick a field goal. And then he messed it up. I don't think it was a bad move by him. Honestly, that was probably one of the best moves he could have made in the situation that he had. And then, obviously, the game's over. Ohio State loses by 1 point. It was a great game. I think Ohio State could have won. I think Oregon could have won. There were some things that happened. Spitting in this big of a game, I don't think should be. I mean, yes, I get it. Tensions flare, but I tend to be more conservative on penalties. I don't like how many just like push calls, and it's like, what is the problem? Like there is this one play where the quarterback's in there, throws the ball, and he gets his head hit. The man like taps his head or something, the defensive lineman, and they throw a flag and it's a 15-yard roughing the pass.